Montre Herold's 2016 D-League impact literally knocked a referee to the floor, a moment that cost him 5 games and lost pay. And James Ennis accidentally punched a ref and an assistant coach during a playoff brawl, instantly getting tossed out and changing the game's momentum. And here's the deal. Nick Van Exel's shove brought a $25,000 fine and a 7-game suspension. These wild moments show just how seriously the NBA clamps down when players cross the line with referees. No exceptions. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe to the channel. You won't want to miss what's next. Montre Herold's shove heard around the league. Before Montre Herold made his name with the Clippers, he was still grinding in the D-League for the Rio Grande Valley Vipers. In one heated game back in 2016, things got out of control. Herold got into it with an opponent, and as a ref tried to step in, Herold didn't even hesitate. He shoved the ref straight to the floor. No second thought, no glance, just raw emotion. The league reacted immediately. 5-game suspension, no pay, no excuses. Officials said it was clear Herold committed a deliberate assault, and they weren't about to set a dangerous precedent. It's wild to think how close that moment came to wrecking his career. That shove didn't just shake the ref, it echoed through the league. James Ennis accidentally punches a referee. Playoff intensity? Yeah, sometimes it boils over. During an Eastern Conference matchup between the Orlando Magic and Milwaukee Bucks, James Ennis got into it with Marvin Williams. It was early in the second quarter when the two started jawing, and just like that, fists were flying. Teammates and staff rushed in to break it up, but chaos took over. In the middle of the mess, Ennis tried to throw a punch at Williams and accidentally clocked the referee and even the Bucks' assistant coach. Yep, 2 unintended hits in one swing. The ref didn't wait. Both players were immediately ejected, but the fallout didn't stop there. The NBA's disciplinary team took notice, and both players were on the hot seat. It wasn't just a fight. It became a moment that showed how fast things can explode and how easily a single punch can turn into a league-wide controversy. Joel Embiid's heated clash with referee Jenna Schroeder. December 23, 2024. Sixers vs Spurs. What should have been a regular season grind turned into a headline moment. Joel Embiid, known for his dominance and intensity, was battling inside when he got called for an offensive foul after a bump with Victor Wembanyama. He didn't take it lightly. Furious, Embiid stormed toward referee Jenna Schroeder, barking in protest. Within seconds, 2 texts. Ejected. It all happened so fast. There was talk of contact between Embiid and the ref, but the NBA confirmed later that it was just incidental, nothing beyond the ejection. Still, the damage was done. Embiid was out, but Tyrese Maxey stepped up, dropping 32 points and nearly a triple-double to steal the win for Philly. Even so, fans were divided. Was it the right call? Too quick to eject? Isaiah Thomas puts hands on a ref. This was wild. Just 88 seconds into the game, Isaiah Thomas was already walking back to the locker room. The Wizards were playing the Blazers on January 3, 2020, when Thomas got trapped near the sideline by Carmelo and Day. In the scramble, he made contact with ref Merritt Kogan, who stumbled into the front row. The refs didn't hesitate. Technical foul, immediate ejection. And yet, the review confirmed it. The NBA later fined him $25,000 for making inappropriate contact. That quick ejection? One of the fastest in league history. What made it worse? Just a few weeks earlier, Isaiah had already been suspended for 2 games for going into the stands to confront fans in Philly. For a guy who's usually all about heart and hustle, this wasn't a good look. It raised serious questions about his temper and timing, and just how close a player can get to crossing the line. Austin Rivers' accident still got him tossed. Sometimes the intention doesn't matter, especially when it comes to touching a ref. On December 30, 2016, Austin Rivers was trying to get back on defense after missing a layup when things got heated. Frustrated, he flailed his arms and accidentally hit referee JT Orr. Rivers tried to explain it wasn't on purpose. I had no idea the ref was there. I didn't mean to touch him, but the refs weren't having it. Ejection. No debate. And then, chaos followed. His dad and head coach, Doc Rivers, lost it too. He was furious that the refs had missed a foul call earlier, and his protest came with so much heat, they tossed him out too. That made it the second time Austin and Doc got ejected in the same game. The first was just 2 weeks before. The Clippers, already down key players, got blown out by 24. Amir Johnson, mouthpiece madness. This one's just bizarre. On December 10, 2012, Amir Johnson got ejected for wanting the basketball? During a Raptors game against Portland, Johnson tried to grab the ball after a made free throw, something he says he always did out of habit, but ref David Jones wasn't letting go. A weird little tug-of-war broke out, and Jones hit Amir with a tech and tossed him immediately. As the ref turned his back, Amir snapped and launched his mouthpiece, hitting the official in the back. He had to be physically held back by teammates. The NBA didn't let it slide. Johnson was suspended for 1 game. Afterward, he admitted he lost his cool. "I think it was just really childish. I apologize." He made it clear this wasn't who he was. No previous ejections, no history with refs in 8 seasons. But on that night, frustration boiled over, and it got ugly. Nick Van Exel crosses the line. One of the most infamous moments where an NBA player went too far with the ref happened on April 9, 1996. Nick Van Exel, then with the Lakers, lost his cool against referee Ron Garretson during a heated game versus the Denver Nuggets. After getting a technical foul late in the 4th quarter, Van Exel didn't just argue. He shoved Garretson right over the scorer's table. Yeah, the ref went down hard. The NBA didn't hold back. Van Exel was slapped with a $25,000 fine, the biggest ever for an on-court incident back then, plus a 7-game suspension. Even Magic Johnson, Van Exel's mentor, called the act inexcusable, saying, "You just don't do that." Lakers exec Jerry West fully backed the league's strict punishment. Fred VanVleet's explosive rant. One of the wildest moments recently came from Houston Rockets guard Fred VanVleet during a heated game against the Portland Trail Blazers. In a tight situation, VanVleet was called for an offensive foul that ended any chance for a comeback in their 104-98 loss. Instead of brushing it off, he stormed right up to referee John Conley, pointing at him and repeatedly calling him a bitch. It wasn't just frustration, it felt personal, like VanVleet was on a mission to let Conley have it. VanVleet had a rough night shooting, going 4 for 13 and missing all 6 threes, so emotions were already running high. When things go south on the court, refs sometimes get the blame, but this went way beyond normal frustration. What's more shocking is this wasn't the first time VanVleet clashed with officials. Back in March 2023, while with the Raptors, he publicly called out referee Ben Taylor's crew after a tough loss, saying, "I'll take the fine, I don't care," just to make sure his frustration was heard. This pattern reveals a bigger tension between players and refs that doesn't seem to be fading anytime soon. These incidents show how quickly emotions can explode in the NBA, especially under pressure. From Montre Herold's deliberate shove to accidental contacts by James Ennis and Austin Rivers, and Fred VanVleet's fiery outburst. Crossing the line with referees leads to serious consequences. The league enforces strict rules to protect officials and demand respect, reminding players to control their tempers no matter the moment. These events highlight the delicate balance between passion and professionalism in basketball. Thanks for watching these intense NBA moments. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit subscribe for more inside stories. Drop a comment below. Which moment surprised you the most? Or do you think any player was treated unfairly? Let's talk!